Alright. Let's get straight to it. Okay. What is going on? What is up, y'all? What's up? What's going on, y'all? Hello. What's up? What's up? It's your boy. Okay. I don't know. Oh my god, how am I supposed to do this intro? I don't know, but we're gonna do it like this, okay? So, hello. Hi, it's me. What's going on? Today we are going to talk about the top 25 Netflix series. So these, okay, what was I saying? Disclaimer, these are not the top 25 best Netflix shows of all time. These are just my top 25 favorite shows that I recommend. I definitely might spoil some stuff, so I'm not gonna tell you where because I have no idea and I'm too lazy. Bruh. So how this is gonna work is that I'm going to briefly describe what I like and what I don't like. All right, so let's get straight to it. Gotta transition. How do I? Number 25. Number 25. Altered Carbon. So Altered Carbon is this like cyberpunk neo-noir type series, and it really made me felt like I was immersed in that world. I really love Joel Kinnaman's portrayal of Takeshi Kovacs, and I also loved Will Yoon Lee's portrayal. There was a huge distinction between, like, you know, the gritty, like badass type of Takeshi, and there's also the more compassionate version of Takeshi too. And Poe, man, he's based off of Edgar Allan Poe, and it's one of my favorite characters. I felt that Altered Carbon season 2 felt very watered down, and it felt like it was on a budget because the scenery was worse and the storyline was pretty it was okay. Like, it took some time to ramp up, but yeah. Number 24. Okay, so number 24 we have Samurai Gourmet. So this is a Japanese wholesome food series. It is very wholesome. It's about this old dude who's a retired samurai, and now he's kind of relaxing and just, you know, trying out the delicacies of food around his area. And I really love the really fun moments where, like, he's like eating and then he has his like minor problems, like, oh, is this the correct way of proper food etiquette? And then he imagines himself as his past samurai self in the corner of how he used to act, and it's just like, it's really weird, but like it's so wholesome, you know. Number 23. All right, number 23 we have Itaewon Class. And you're gonna be like, what? You watch K-drama? Well, I gotta tell you, I do watch K-drama, and I am not ashamed anymore. I love the whole storyline of the main character, Park Seri. I'm definitely butchering the name, but he has a pretty bad life, and he gets a chance to be able to open up and try to like franchise his pub. And I also love the side characters in it: Yiseo, Gunso, I think it's Gunso, Hyungyi, and Tony. Oh, Tony! I love the part where, like, Tony is like, I can't speak English, bro. And then later on in the series, he speaks English, and then everyone's like, what? He speaks English? I also like the fact that it tackles a lot of issues such as racism and homosexuality. I felt that the romance was a little too cliche, and it felt very dragging. And also, there's way too many flashbacks. I felt that the series definitely could have been shorter. Number 22, because I'm 22, you know. Frontier. So Frontier is, well, it stars Jason Momoa, you know, the guy in Aquaman, the really hot guy, or the Steven Adams looking guy. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yes. So it has a very colonial vibe to it. It takes place in the 1700s in, I believe, Canada, and it talks a lot about the fur trade, which is really interesting. And I'm telling you, the intro is really epic. Like, okay. Anywho, the directing is really good, great production. It looks good on the outside, but on the inside's it's alright. The acting's meh. I felt like the story kind of got worse later on in the seasons, but they didn't really talk too much about the fur trade. I felt that they could have dived more into that, but you know, Canadian shows, right? Number 21. 20. Okay, this is not 21. I have no idea what I'm doing. Anyway, 21 is Luke Cage. So the superhero dude in Harlem, NYC. I like the vibe because I'm from NYC, so I felt like the characters were well written. I love what's his name? Bushmaster, and how he just says like Bomaclat. I'm definitely saying it wrong, but he's just such a great character, and how he matched up really well in terms of like power with Luke Cage. I also love Shades. I thought he was a really great character, and how he became a villain to an anti-hero. And I'm pretty sure I'm spoiling a little bit of it already, but yeah. Number 20. Yes, I think this way is 20. So 20 is Stranger Things. Okay, it is a science fiction, horror, thriller, drama, all that. Great all-around cast. I like how it brought like a lot of nostalgia, because it made me feel like I was with them too as a kid, and was just like going on through like fun adventures and all that. But their adventures were pretty scary, so I definitely do not want to go through those adventures. For some reason, I never got into Stranger Things. Like, I couldn't really binge it for some reason. I don't know if it's because it's too long, or if it's because it's a show that I've seen before, and I felt that. Don't get me wrong, it's a very good show, but I guess maybe because I've seen that type of stuff before. Number 19. Okay, so number 19 is Easy. It is a romantic / comedy / drama. Talks about the daily lives of everyday people and their relationship / love life. And I like how it was very real and authentic. Like, a lot of the characters, like, they were handling a lot of relationship problems and and all that. I felt like the characters had a lot of depth to them, and I actually did not finish season 1, but I saw that a lot of the characters kind of reoccur throughout the series. Number 18, Memories of Alhambra. Okay, so this is the K-drama series that got me into K-dramas. So basically what happened is that I was on this Tinder date. I know I use Tinder. So this girl wanted to watch a K-drama with me. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. But then, she was keep bugging me about it, and then I was like, I probably should, meet halfway. So she wanted to watch something that she hasn't seen before, and I literally have not seen any K-drama, and I wanted to pick one that wasn't cheesy or anything like that. So I looked at this one, and then I picked it, and I don't regret it at all, because it is a very atypical K-drama. It is a kind of like a virtual reality game, with like swords and health bars and all that. It takes place in Spain and South Korea, and a lot of these Korean actors, they can speak Spanish, which is like mind-blowing. I felt like the storyline was very strong in the beginning. I loved the camaraderie between Yoo Jin-woo and Jung Hee-ju, and I love Hee-ju's sister. She was just like this little brat that would like tease her about, oh, like, you like him, or stuff like that. And Jinwoo's assistant, oh, he is such a badass. But don't want to spoil it, so yeah, some bad stuff. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. So just like Itaewon Class, I felt that there were way too many flashbacks. The plot was really drawn out. I felt like it could have been shortened from 16 episodes to 10 episodes. So 17, and with an E. Okay, so this is really good. It is a wholesome coming out of age series, starring Anne Shirley Cuthbert, or Anne of Green Gables. And I just love Anne as a character. She's like full of life. She's like lively. She speaks out her mind and goes against the status quo. Everything that a woman isn't supposed to do during that time. Kind of shows how she's like this adorable girl who like matures into like a woman throughout the series. I really love Marilla and Matthew Cuthbert, who take care of Anne, Bash and Gilbert. Miss Stacy, awesome teacher. The storytelling's beautiful, and it showcases a lot of the realities of the issues such as like racism and sexism and the realities of being an orphan. So 16 we have Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. It is, if you ever seen Dirty Rock, it's very similar to it. It's a lot of like nonsense slash surreal comedy. Ellie Kemper plays Kimmy Schmidt. She's a fun character because oftentimes she takes things way too literally. If someone were to be like, oh, break a leg, she'd be like, wow, that must hurt. I also love Jane Krakowski's. She is like my woman crush, one of my woman crushes. So I gotta say, she is fine. But Titus, he is one of my favorite characters too. I love his dancing and singing moments. He's like, caviar, Myanmar, mid-sized car, Pinot Noir. But okay, 15, street food. So I really love this series. It made me feel immersed in the food and the culture of the specific country that it's talking about. And I love the stories of these street food cooks that are like, you know, the story is like very heartbreaking, but it's also beautiful at the same time, especially the Japan episode and the Singapore episode. And I like how, you know, they're just normal people like us, you know, they're just trying to make a living. It portrays that, you know, food is like this global language that everyone can understand. 14, The People versus O.J. Simpson. So this is a limited series recreating the O.J. Simpson case. And the storyline, production, supporting cast is superb. There's Sarah Paulson from American Horror Story as Marsha. There's Johnny Travolta, and there's Ross from Friends, and he plays Rob Kardashian. So that's something. I felt that the main character, Cuba Gooding Jr., I don't know, I felt that his portrayal of OJ was very weak. Like, he made him sound weak, whiny, and not really a great depiction of, you know, OJ Simpson. I don't know. But the supporting cast, top notch. So number 13, we have Sex Education. It's a very informative show. I know, informative. But no, it's actually pretty informative. The characters are well written. I love the relationship between Maeve and Otis running the sex clinic. It's not what you think. It's literally a informal way of them giving love advice. So it's like a sexologist, I think, or a psychologist, therapist. I don't know, something like that. I love how it like tackles all types of like sexuality, love, relationships, and the harsh topics of like rape and how like it can traumatize its victims, especially in season 2 when one of the characters has a similar situation like that. It really pushes its buttons and correctly educates people. So 12 we have BoJack Horseman. I love how it's real and the characters are very human-like despite being a cartoon. It tackles drug abuse, depression, love, and family and friends. One of my favorite episode is the fish out of water episode, and that whole episode has nearly no dialogue. The fact that a no dialogue episode is my favorite, it's like, it's saying quite a lot. The tongue twisters are really good. I love when Princess Carolyn has those tongue twister moments. You know Courtney Portnoy, you probably recall when she soared as a thorny horticulturalist. Probably recall. You know Courtney Portnoy, you probably recall when she soared as a thorny horticulturalist and one sworded fortnight with a short-skirted sorceress. How would you enjoy joining Portnoy for a source soy porterhouse pork for courser at koi? Glorify your source, but don't make it feel forced, of course. And try the borscht. Okay, let me try to. You know, and try the borscht. There we go. Got it. Number 11. So 7 Deadly Sins. It's a very bingeable anime. The storyline, characters, comedy is on point. I love how Meliodas and his pals go on this epic journey to like battle these villains, the villains in season 2, especially the Ten Commandments. I know, right? The Ten Commandments, who they are pretty like, you know, they're like a huge threat to like the main cast, and they're not like weak or like reoccurring like you know, Team Rocket from Pokemon, who just keep coming back and back, and like you know Ash Ketchum's gonna beat them. All right, so now we're gonna go into the top 10. I know, right? Top 10. Okay, number 10. So number 10, we have Money Heist. So I love the story arc and how creative the criminals are in outplaying the cops 3 steps ahead. I love Berlin, Nairobi, and Professor. They're really well-written characters. I felt that Arturo, Rio, and Tokyo are annoying as number 9. So number 9 is a comedy drama detailing this woman Nadia at a house party in NYC who keeps dying in a loop but wakes up the next morning normal and at the same house party again. So I love the whole interesting concept of how she keeps dying every time, but she keeps waking up at the same exact location at the same exact time. It's like what is going on, you know? And it's funny how she dies sometimes. Like sometimes she would be hit by a taxi car. She would fall under like the underground storage for like restaurants, or like fall down like flights of stairs. You gotta see it. It's really funny. But like she has this like NYC like Brooklyn Jewish like raspy accent, and later on she finds this guy who also has the same phenomenon that she's experiencing too, which is really interesting. I like that it's short and simple, not too long, not too short. Really great series. You should check it out. Number 8. So number 8, we have Master of None. I love that the comedy is really spot on. Since I'm an Asian, I felt that I could relate to a lot of it and kind of the things that he has with his family. I really loved the Italy episode in the beginning of season 2, where it was just like black and white. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, it's pretty good. So number 7. Yes, number 7, we have Extracurricular. It is another K-drama series, but this is really good. It's about a high school student who leads a pimping business online to pay for his college fees. So yes, that is something. I love the epic opening song. But yes. The side characters are really cool. The main cast is good. I definitely love Kim Dong-hee. He was the guy in Itaewon Class 2, and how his acting really improved the way that he portrayed this two-sided type of guy, where he was like really nice and sweet, and then you really see him like aggressive and like angry and all that. It's like really good distinction and really good switch up. I love how it built tension through psychological means rather than physical means. The love wasn't cheesy between the main 2 characters, and it wasn't really forced. And that fight scene, man, I gotta tell you, that was pretty sad to watch. That whole psychological buildup of like, you know what's gonna happen, you know. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So number 6, we have F is for Family. You know what? You know what?
You know what?
No, I don't know what. Please tell me.
And then I found an M&M and I ate it, but you know what? It wasn't an M&M because it had eyes.
Who the fuck? Okay, I definitely can't, but yes, something like that. I love that. It's very thematic to its time in the 70s. And also Bill Burr is like one of my favorite comedians of all time, so seeing him in a cartoon is like pretty interesting. I like how Frank goes through like so much shit in his life, and it's just like funny of him like dealing with it. It's like, God damn it, Sue, or like, you know, God damn it, Bill. Overall, the story and characters are well developed, and it's really good. Number 5 is You. No, not You, the show You. You would have thought, huh? You would have thought. I think the story is well developed. It showed how insane of a psychopath Joe is, and trying to kind of stay with her love and getting rid of anyone that would stand in his way. So a lot of people actually said that season 2 isn't as good as season 1, but I beg to differ. I think season 2 is just as good, if not even better. Season 1 was very focused on Joe and his obsession with his love interest Beck. Season 2 kind of took a step back from Joe's perspective and focused more on the love interest, Love Quinn's perspective, and the side characters were a lot better, especially 40, who just went like batshit crazy. So like it really turns up later on in season 2. But season 1 is also just as good. I would actually recommend season 1. I think it will really dive you into the show, and then season 2 it's like, you know, a continuation of that, but like in a different way. So number 4, oh my god, we're almost there. Okay, so 4 is Ozark. So I think the writing and the acting is really crisp, especially in season 3, in which Wendy and her brother Ben had really like these Oscar-worthy performances.
What are we doing? What am I doing? Oh, God.
Just take deep breaths.
What am I doing?
Oh, honey, everything's gonna be fine.
No.
I love the psychological tension buildup, and how real and risky the stakes were, and how high the stakes were. I felt that the kids were kind of annoying in the first season, but I think I loved how they grew and developed into like these, you know, mature adults throughout the seasons. Number 3, we have The Office. Oh my god. So I actually hated The Office before.
I don't even know what to say to you right now.
I was more used to shows like, you know, Everybody Hates Chris, Everybody Loves Raymond, King of Queens, How I Met Your Mother, Friends, and all that. And The Office was just a huge different perspective on comedy at the time. I love everything, the characters, the story, the jokes, the antics, side characters, the no laugh track, a lot of memorable moments, like when Michael kisses Oscar, yes, or when Dwight nearly burns the office down, the dinner party, Jim and Pam's wedding dance, Goodbye Michael, like there are like so many great moments. So a lot of people did not like when Michael left and Goodbye Michael after season 7, but season 8 and season 9, they hold up well for themselves. I do think that the characters are a lot more cartoonish because they try to make up for the absence of Michael.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
I do think that they are very skippable though, but you should definitely give it a watch. I would say the only thing I really hate is just Toby, you know. Why? So number two we have Narcos. So I'm gonna include Narcos and Narcos New Mexico. So this show made me buy Netflix, so thank you for that. And I love the whole balance and back and forth between the DEA and the drug lords. And if you ask me, I think Wagner Moore's portrayal of Pablo is like the essence of the show. Because when I think of Narcos, I think of him and Pablo Escobar. You see kind of the rise in his desire for money and power, and kind of the downfall that happens later on. And I loved how charismatic he is in handling situations. Now, I'm not saying New Mexico is not worth a watch. It's just as good too. There's a lot of memorable scenes, such as the part where Rafa and Don Neto were celebrating. Come on, chameleon. Come and go. You come and go. Okay, yes. Anyway, really good show. And also the whole cursing scene. Like, I really learned a lot of like Spanish words like la puta.
Parido, hijo de puta!
Okay, I'm definitely cursing too much, but la puta, yes. And number 1, oh my god, we're here, number 1. So what is number 1? Drum roll. So number 1 we have Maniac. So Maniac is this drama that follows Owen, who's diagnosed with schizophrenia and abused by his family, Annie, who's dealing with depression and drug abuse from the death of her sister in a car crash. They volunteer as experiments in this new pharmaceutical trial in which they take these pills that are said to repair the mind and takes them into their dreams to fight against their mental illnesses. However, things don't go as planned because Annie and Owen's dreams somehow intermingle with each other. So that is quite a plot. I think the storytelling is great as you get to kind of like explore like you feel immersed in the different worlds of the dreams of Annie and Owen. It felt very real and relatable because a lot of these characters are, you know, essentially lonely and sad, depressed. You know, they've dealt with a lot of trauma. It kind of gives a lot of like that emptiness and that black and white colors that we have on those certain days. And I love the portrayal of how they kind of depict mental illness. I love Dr. Mantlevey and Dr. Azumi, and Greta is this computer that controls the patients throughout the trials. And also this Ruth from Ozark, who's playing as Annie's sister. The soundtrack is top notch, especially Annie and Owen's themes. And I love how it literally combined both themes in the finale, because I guess it kind of gave a symbolism of like Annie and Owen being together, and it like really melted my heart and put me in a lot of tears. You know, like real talk, like, man, that was such a tearful moment. But overall, I love how it portrays like the importance of like human connection and belonging.
Annie, why are you here?
Because I'm your friend.
And that is the list. Oh my god, so we made it. Yes. Did it in one take, man. One take. Well, one take today, but yes. Yes, we made it through. Had a lot of fun. Definitely not the easiest for me to film, but I wanted to try something different, and I wanted you to see and experience those same Netflix shows that I did, and, you know, just have fun and be occupied in the summer. So it's been real. Peace out.